Good evening, this is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. Today I want to talk to you about a few things that have been concerning me over the past several months, or it's really gotten worse this past week or so. It's inflation. It's all around us. And it's in the Bible where we work a day for a loaf of bread. That's in Revelation. Check it out. And it's getting that way. Soon, I hate to say this, and I hope it doesn't come true, but soon your food bill may be more than your paycheck. Think about it for a moment. More than your paycheck. The food for your family will be cost more than your paycheck. What are you going to do? How are you going to combat that? You still have to pay your other bills, but you also have food for your family. So my inclination and my advice to you, if you want it, is to stock up, prepare. I don't usually go into something like this. I don't feel that's my right to do it. I don't feel right doing it. But this situation has really changed in the past month. And we're going to face all kinds of shortages. The wheat shortage that makes the flour. If we don't have wheat, you can't make flour. Can't make flour? Yeah, wow, what are you going to make? Flour is in everything. Wheat is in everything, basically. Look at your food ingredients in most of your foods, and it says wheat. And I know this because I had a friend whose daughter was gluten-free or whatever it was before we even knew about it. And she had a heck of a time trying to find something for that child to eat because everything had wheat in it. It was kind of ridiculous there for a while. It was ridiculous. She also was lactose intolerant. So on top of the wheat and the lactose, no milk, no wheat product, I'll tell you, she had a heck of a time finding something for that child. And this was years and years ago before we had all these special things. But anyway, flour, wheat, we're going to have problems with. Get your flour or learn to make, get your wheat berries. But make sure you have something to grind them with too. I don't have any wheat berries. I'm praying that I don't need any. I can't afford them. No, I can't. But there is no money for that. You know, when you make $10,000 a year and that's it, something has to go. And I've been prepping, and I've been prepping, and I've been prepping. Because I don't prep just for myself. I prep for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. I do not want them to go hungry. And if that means we have to eat beans and rice every meal, that's what we'll do. But you can spice it up. You can change it around all the time. If you have your pantry full, if your stock up is ready. So whenever you see these sales on potatoes, on flour, on cake mixes, on pancake mixes, on everything, stocking up, grab a couple extras if you can afford it. If you can't, well, I don't know. That's the situation I'm in. I don't know. I'm just going to have to take it day by day and let it go. I'm going to have to become even more thrifty. It's going to be absolutely zero waste. Can you go zero waste? I don't know. We're going to find out, aren't we? You know, in the olden days, and I don't know how old you guys are, but olden days for me would mean my grandparents, and that would be, yeah, how long they've been gone for a long, long time, all of them. And my parents have been gone for a long, long time already. So, I mean, when I think back to what my grandparents did, they had the gardens, They planted their own food. We were a rural nation at that time. Most people lived on the farms. So they could raise their own meat. They could raise their own, have a cow. They could raise their chickens. They could raise their eggs. They had a big garden. They preserved everything. And one of their main foods was soup. And they would put it on the stove, and they would just take whatever they had and make soup out of it. And that's something we can do. We eat our vegetables, and we have 2 or 3 beans that, instead of throwing them out, put them in a Ziploc bag or a container, Rubbermaid container, in the freezer, and add everything to it. Everything that you got left over from your meal. Potatoes, mashed potatoes, and gravy. It can be your vegetables. It can be, if it's a little piece of meat. Save that. Don't throw it in the garbage, because that might be your next meal. Okay, people? Stock up is what I'm trying to say. Potatoes are going to be in short supply. Oh, yeah. Don't get me on potatoes. Yeah. Eggs, chickens, computer chips. And you think that might not affect you, but you know what? Most of our cars run on computer chips. A lot of our appliances have computer chips. It's going to affect us. Diesel fuel. If the truckers can't afford the diesel, you know what? They can't get the stuff to us. And if they can't get the stuff to us, to the storage, well, that means there's nothing in the storage for us to eat. I don't think I'll ever see the storage completely empty. I do think that the prices will be so high that we won't be able to afford them. Dehydrate. You know I'm a great dehydrator. If you can't afford a dehydrator, use your oven. 200, 250 degrees. Leave the oven cracked, put your food on a rack and a pan. Leave your oven door open and cook them and bake them dehydrate them until they're done, until they're dried. Or you can do like they used to do. Put them out in the sun. That'll work too. A little more work, but it can be done. I don't know what we're going to do. What I'm going to do, and what I'm doing, is I was looking up depression recipes. Yes, I've got a lot of depression recipes. They'll be coming to you. Depression recipes, World War I and II recipes, where they were rationed all the time. Because even if they don't give us if they don't ration the food with the stamps, by giving us just a limit of 2 or 1 at the store, or not having the stuff in the store for us, that's a form of rationing. And so we're going to have to learn to work around it. We're going to have to go back to basics, period. Learn to cook from scratch. And if you can, be on the lookout for these old cookbooks, these old church cookbooks, old any organization cookbooks. I've got church cookbooks. I've got Legion cookbooks, auxiliary books, anything, family cookbooks that have been put out by different families. But these cookbooks include recipes that have been handed down from generation to generation. And not only that, those recipes have been tried by families like you and me, and their families approved. They're tried and true recipes. They're not something that you can have to go out to the store and buy 2 or 3 exotic things in order to make it. They're just basics, and that's what we need to go back to. We need to go back to making our mixes. I've got plenty of mixes. Cream of soup is my favorite, probably. The one I use, I should say the one I use the most. Because that's just the basic recipe for the cream thing. But when I make it, I can make my whatever flavor I want. Mushroom or chicken or cream of celery, anything like that. Or I can just leave it plain and use it as a white sauce. I've done that many times. So go back to your basic. Learn how to cook from scratch. Do it more frequently. And if you get those sales, by God, pick them up. Because you can't afford not to. This next week, I will be going through my mixes and my spice blends and so forth. That's what we will be discussing. That's what I will be giving you. And I know that some of you have already seen these, but please bear with us because I think it should be done again. I got this feeling from somebody, from a comment that was made on another channel. And yeah, it can be done. That they had to go back to basics, that they had to find these recipes that they needed instead of depending on the grocery stores with all the additives and chemicals they put in there. And if you pay attention to them, packages are coming out now, and read them before you buy them because they say bioengineered. And you know what that means. Bioengineered. B-I-O, engineered. That means they were engineered in a lab. Yeah, and they probably don't have any of the real vegetables or meat or so forth that they're claiming they have. The food was made in a lab. Okay? So watch that. That's been happening. I have heard it was done with crack. They've seen it on crackers. So that's something else to look out for. Watch your dates. Although we all know that dates aren't that, I don't know what I want to say, that exact. You can eat food past those dates. The only thing that dates really matter, basically, is, I believe, milk. And milk will spoil on you. Meats, yeah, if you don't freeze them. Or dehydrate them, or do something with them. Okay? So watch your dates. And a lot of these, want to be careful, a lot of these foods that are going in and up on a grocery list, on a store shelves, have probably been in these containers that have been sitting outside for who knows how long, how many months. In fact, we went to Dollar General yesterday it was, and they have 2 big storage containers sitting outside their store filled with products. Now, I don't know what's in this product, in those things, but I do know if it's food, I'm not too sure I want to eat it because not temperature controlled. Yeah, would you eat it? I don't know. But so watch your dates. Your dates might be 2 or 3 days, might be behind, or it will be a month ahead. You will, instead of June 24 or 23, it'd be June 22. So watch those dates. There again, don't throw any food that is past their date. Don't throw it away. It's usually good. Give it the old smell and the look, taste. Okay? So I guess that's it for today. I know I just rambled on. But I feel an urge to tell you to please get as much preparation as you can, because that's the only thing that's going to save us right now. And read your Bibles. Some said start with Revelations. I don't know. I usually start at the beginning, the very beginning, and I read through, and you will see how these things connect. Revelations, I hate to say it, but it sounds like the times we're in, and we all know what happened, how that ends. So anyway, read your Bible. Make sure you're with God in prayer. Hold your family close, and prep it up, stack it up to the rafters and beyond if you have to. Have a good day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And I will have some recipes for you. God bless. Bye-bye.